Hey guys, Sarah with 3 Raptor Consulting here, and I wanted to talk to you today about listening. Now, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, I'm a great listener. I hear everything that you say. But do you? So let's go over communication and how that works and how listening fits into communication. So as you guys have heard me say over and over again, we wear lenses, multiple lenses out in front of our face, that our eyes, right, that are our unmet needs, our wants, our exhaustion, our pain, our culture, our trauma, any number of things, and they are what filters messages that come through us. Now here's the thing, we have those lenses in front of our eyes and in front of our ears, so everything that's coming to us is being filtered through those lenses. It hits our brain, and then we interpret that filtered message, and then we respond to it. Now here's the problem with communication. We are usually so busy trying to decide how we're going to respond, what we're going to say in that response, that we're not actually listening to what people say. Instead of listening to what I have to say about how to listen, you're thinking about how you can respond about how you already know how to listen. So here's what I do when I need to listen. I take a deep breath, and I push everything down inside of me, and I just focus on that person. Something that really helps me to listen, to really hear what they're saying and focus on their words rather than thinking about what my response is going to be, is to take notes. For me, that action of writing down what they're saying, taking key notes, makes me focus so much on what they're saying and processing what they're saying that I don't have time to process a response until they're done talking, which is exactly how we need to be. So now with listening, just like with communication though, remember, it's not just the words that we're saying, it's the tone of voice, it's our body language, it's our facial expressions, right? It's this whole wide variety of things that come together to make that piece of information that we're hearing. So what you need to do is figure out a way for you to be truly successful, to focus on hearing what people say, pausing, processing, and then responding. That's the process of listening. So again, for me, I take notes. That helps me so much. If I can't take paper notes, then I'll repeat in my head what the people are saying. And again, that makes me focus so hard on what they're saying that I can't process until they're done talking. And taking that deep breath and pushing everything down, turning my phone to do not disturb and not looking at my watch, really helps me focus on what they're saying and moving forward. And it really helps me to hear what they're doing. If somebody speaks for a really long time, especially if I'm interpreting, which when you interpret, you really have to learn how to hear what they're saying and then say the same thing back exactly in another language. So if I'm interpreting and it starts to get really, really long, sometimes I'll ask them to pause, or sometimes I'll ask them to pause and let me give a summary back to make sure that I'm with them. That's actually called active listening. And that's when you say things like, okay, could you give me just a second? Let me repeat. I want to make sure that I understood that you said the little girl in the red coat walking the black dog crossed in the crosswalk at 9 a.m. and threw the box of chocolate milk at the crossing guard. Sorry, that's all I could come up with at the moment, right? But it could be this really long story full of lots of emotion and drama and venting. And when you say, could you give me just a second to recap that to you? I want to make sure I'm hearing you correctly. As long as you don't say it in a patronizing way or do it with your spouse, I learned that there's no right tone with your spouse, then you're going to be able to really hear what that person is saying, and they're also going to know that you're really hearing what they're saying. Another great way to show people that you're listening are to repeat words and phrases back to them that they said. That's really going to stand out in their mind, and they're going to realize that you heard everything that they said. And remember, conversations need to be slower. They don't need to be this rapid gunfire, just bop, bop, bop banter. It's okay for us to take time to process, and it's okay for us to take time to filter. When I'm meeting with a client, sometimes I'll say, I am so sorry, I'm processing everything that you say, can you just give me a minute? And they're always like, oh, yes, of course. And then I can collect my thoughts, and then I can say what I'm thinking. So learn to have some phrases like that on hand too. And listen, if somebody doesn't want to give you a minute to process your thoughts and come up with a response, then that's their bad, not yours, and you don't need to worry about that at all. Okay? So remember to pause and reflect and really hear what's being said rather than focus on your response. It doesn't need to be a banter. It needs to have moments of silence, reflective silence, moments where you collect your ideas, and moments where you can process what's being said. So I hope this helps you with your listening skills. Great ways to practice your listening skills, again, are with your family and at home, really stepping it up with what they say. Try it at the dinner table. So, really focus on what everybody is saying and repeat that back to yourself. That's really going to help you build that skill, and you can put it into use in every part of your life. So I hope you have a great day, and I will see you soon.